Hi guys, it's me, Maite. Just saying hi, and just doing a very exciting announcement for me. I have, as you might have seen over the past few months and year almost, I have been in a lot of training and doing lots of really exciting things. But the announcement I'm about to make today is why I have been doing that, and I wanted to share it with all of you because I'm super excited about it. It's been quite a roller coaster for the past 2 years to have been in constant training with some of the world's leaders on psychology and personal development and productivity, like Tony Robbins, Richard Bandler, and so many others. And there has been a very specific reason why I have been doing this and why I didn't just want to launch into something that I did not master first myself. And what I'm doing today is, hi Linda, hi Bert. It's launching my brainchild of almost 2 years now. That all started with my own journey, and what I'm what I'm very excited to do now is tell you a little bit about what I'm doing and how exciting it is for me and for others, and for you to share it if you so wish to. That would be amazing. But what it is I'm launching my own coaching company, Unplugged Strategic Coaching. I'm super excited about it because what I have found out over the past few years is that we all need help. We all need someone on our corner to get out of the stress, of the burnout, and into more productive lives. And how I found this out was because a few years ago, about 3 years ago, that was me. That was me, and it was not an easy thing to do. It was about 3 years ago that I had been so consumed with the work, with stress, anxiety, burnout, depression. And this is something that very few people know. And I was just at my wits' end. I didn't understand why I was feeling like that. Why, after having all these things that, I was set out to achieve, and I got, all these awards in my business, and everything from the outside seemed amazing. And on the inside, I was dying really slowly. Um, and when I got really to rock bottom was when I couldn't understand why, if I had achieved all those things that I have been brought up to believe, that if you achieve this, if you make X amount of money, if you do this, you get this type of recognition, then you'll be happy. That's what life is about. And what I recognized in a really bad moment was that I was empty. That it was not about any of those things, and I had lost myself because at that point I didn't even know what life was actually about. And so to be honest, I am not even here because of myself. I am here because somebody else believed in me. Somebody else thought I could get out of it. And that somebody was my fiance, Alex, who helped me to really get out of it. And how he did it was he told me, hey, like there was all this courses and things you used to take years ago that really seemed to help you. Why don't we do that again? And that set me off on a path that I thought was just for myself, and as it turns out, it was for something way bigger than that. But what I wanted to share was that experience, because very often we look at people on the outside and we think, oh, they're so great, oh, they have it all together. Oh my God, I kept having people telling me, how are you doing all these things? And you are so great, and you do all these amazing things, and how wonderful. And I did not feel like that. I did not feel like I was doing anything great. I did not feel fulfilled inside because I was not in a good place, because I was letting the stress and the burnout of it all eat me alive, take over my identity, who I was. Um, and once I was able to get out of it and to see what really I was doing, I was in the worst shape physically, I was in the worst shape. Emotionally, I was in the worst shape of my relationship has ever been, because I didn't actually get to reconnect with myself, because I didn't see anything else outside of the work, because everything else in front of me told me, you have to get more, you have to do more, you have to achieve more. And once I did, there was nothing. So when that happened, I and thank God I had an amazing partner to support me and to help me get out of it through the training and the courses that years ago I had done that had been very beneficial for me in other areas of my life. But now this was really, really the worst shape I had ever been. And so at this point, I thought, okay, let's do it. Once we came out of it, I came out of it the strongest I had ever been emotionally. And I came out of it with all the tools and all the resources to turn my life around. And in a matter of months, I did. And even though at the time I thought, well, I made a commitment to myself to really get it together, to really do what made me happy, not what made everybody else happy, not what I was expected to do from the world, but really what made me happy. And once I made that commitment, I also recognized that, hey, like maybe I may not be as successful in business as I take a step back to really reconnect with myself, but that's okay, because that was about me. And much to my surprise, the next year was one of the most productive years in the business I had ever had. And by productive, I mean I was actually doing the right things. I was not doing everything. But more than that, it was the year that I enjoyed my life the most. It was that up until that point in my life, wasn't taking time off, because there were so many demands outside of me that needed my time, needed my energy. And then I decided, hey, like I can't do this anymore. And once I actually got on that path and I started learning about myself, why I was operating the way I was, why I was in that place, how I allowed myself to get to that place in the first place, I recognized that it wasn't, that I wasn't alone, that this happens to a lot of people, because there's so many demands, there's so many stresses, there's so much anxiety all around us that it's so easy to get lost in it. And as I actually joined, more courses and trainings and really sought the best of the best people to help me understand how I had made that transition, what happened inside of me, and how did it happen that more than anything, how did I become even more productive when I was working way less, when I was taking way more time off, when I was actually paying attention to, other things other than work, which at a point in my life was unthinkable. Then all of a sudden I had so much, abundance everywhere in my life, and my business was doing better than it had, I mean 70% better than it had done the last year, when I was literally killing myself. And how did I get to that point? Why did this work? And so I sought the best of the best in the industry, the people who had helped me, Mr. Tony Robbins, who, as you probably know from my Facebook posts, I am a huge fan of, because his tools and technologies have literally helped me change everything about my life. And then people that he learned from, because he didn't come up with a lot of this stuff, he learned from other people, and I saw those people too. Mr. Richard Bandler, the father of neuro-linguistic programming. I wanted to understand how we make decisions, what's the difference in the quality of people's lives based on their psychology, based on how we operate, and more importantly, how we can turn it around. It's not enough to understand why, but I wanted to know why it worked that way. And over the past year, I have been so blessed to study directly from Dr. Richard Bandler, the father of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and get my master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, where I fully understand how this works. And more than anything, I understand that there are things that we can do to change everything about our lives. Anything that we're not happy with, we can do it. And something in particular that speaks very, very close to my heart, because it's what I live, is the effects of stress and burnout. how does stress affect us, how does burnout affect us, and how we can turn it around. More importantly, like I said, knowledge of understanding of why it works is not even important at a point in time. It's how we can turn that around, how from this place we can get to actually a place of enjoying life and fulfillment and productivity, because let's face it, we have to be productive. We cannot just go up into the mountains and meditate. I love meditating, but we cannot just go there and do that all the time. It's just not how it works. We need to still be productive and enjoy life and enjoy our achievements, but not from a place of fear, but from a place of abundance, from a place where we understand our psychology and we understand what makes us tick and how we can change that. So that has been, over the past few years, 2 years now, it's been the most amazing journey. I have completed Anthony Robbins leadership program. I have done my master's in NLP practitioner. I studied strategic intervention coaching as well. And now I actually feel ready. I feel like I have the tools in place to actually go and do what my heart, desires, and that is to help others. And I love real estate. I'm still gonna keep my real estate business because I love it so much. I love my clients so much. And I think there's room for one more thing in my life, and that thing is coaching. As you might have heard a few months ago, I switched companies. We're now at iPro Realty, where I'm now coaching other agents here. And now I'm launching this brainchild project of mine, Unplugged Strategic Coaching, to actually help other people, to help them, get to that place where they enjoy life to the fullest, where they can get rid of the stress. And it can sound very kumbaya when you're not in that place, but there's very specific things, there's very specific psychological things, there's very specific physical things that we can do to get out of it, and very specific strategies more than that to be more productive, to focus on the things that truly matter, on the 20% that is actually important in life versus the 80% that is everything else around it. So that's my very, very exciting announcement. So I am officially launching Unplugged Strategic Coaching, and very, very exciting things are going to be coming. You're going to start seeing some very cool tools that I'm going to start sharing with you here through Facebook, through my Facebook page. Go and like it right now. Also check out our website. We have some very awesome things coming. One of them is a webinar, a completely free webinar that I want to do to share some of the tools that are most effective in order to achieve your New Year's goals. We're starting a new year and we all want to get our goals, but we also know that 80% of people have given up on their New Year's resolutions by the time that second week of February comes along. Most people have actually given up on that. So we don't want that. That's not how our life changes. We want to get our goals, but we also want to get them from a place, of centeredness, of balance, from actually still being connected to ourselves, to those we love around us, and to our bodies, to our health. So that is what I've been up to over the past year and a half. If you've been wondering why I've been traveling so much, it's because I have made a commitment to just learn from the absolute best, so that any tools I can teach and I can share are really top of the line. There's a lot of, kumbaya and rah things that just get you really excited, and excitement is not enough. You have to have the right tools, you have to have the right strategies in place, and more than anything, you have to know how you work so that you're able to turn around what you're doing that you don't love, and you can do more of the things that you do love and actually get the life that you want. So I'm just, thank you so much for listening. I've been stuck through the end. I know it's been a bit of a long rant and I'm super excited, but please go to my Facebook page and like it. And I'm going to be sharing lots more tools for you to just enjoy life more, and to actually change that psychology that sometimes doesn't serve us. We carry a lot of things around us in our head that is not even ours, and that is only holding us back. So let's do this together. Let's have the most amazing 2018. And thank you for listening. Check out our Facebook page, and I will see you very, very soon once I start sharing all these awesome tools. Stay tuned for our webinar on how to get your New Year's goals without the stress. It's coming very, very soon, in a couple of weeks, so I'll be sharing that with you soon. But thank you so much for listening. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.